What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am just winding down after a long weekend, a holiday weekend of spending time with my family and friends, and I am super full and trying to, to overcome the meat sweats and all the things that go along with Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and loved ones, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the groove here. I've been working really hard at dialing in the drums in Homewood Sound. That journey of creating a space where I could track drums in my own home studio and get pro quality drums has been really my mission from the moment that I committed to building the studio out, and all the work that's gone on into treating these rooms and really working with a purpose to try to get great drum sounds. And I'm excited today to get to share with you guys what I've got going on in my drum room, what used to look like this, like my dining room, and I'm really proud of the drum sounds that we're getting out of there. I want to share with you guys our drum setup, my drum setup in here. I want to go through kind of some of the considerations that I went through when I was designing the room, building the room, treating the room, and kind of coming up with my my vibe of what I wanted this space to have in terms of my choices with the fabrics and the woods and all that kind of jazz. But anyway, we'll go through the microphones and kind of just a mindset of how to get finding that sweet spot in whatever your room is and making the most out of your space and letting that space have its own sound and be a character in the music that you make in your home studios. Yeah, pumped to show you guys what we're working with. Let's go check it out. All right, so we are in here in the drum room. I want to talk about how I treated this room, because this used to be, as I mentioned, this was my dining room, and it's got 8-foot ceilings. This is a ranch style house that was built in the 60s. The room does sit on top of a basement, so it's open below, so it can get real boomy. So I had to consider that. It's got a window, had to consider that, and 4 square walls. So the first thing that I did was built a bunch of acoustic panels, and my logic was I don't have a space that has natural good acoustics, something I want to take advantage of. If this room had 10-foot ceilings, my attitude about how I treated it would have been totally different, but I thought, let's get this room as dead as possible, and then we can address on the back end in post-production how we want the overall drum room to sound, leveraging plugs like the UAD Ocean Waves plugin and some other great plugs that kind of address amazing drum room sounds. So the first thing that I did was built out some clouds. So these are, I'm using Rockwool Safe and Sound acoustic insulation. And these you could use the Owens Corning 703, really whatever is available to you and wherever you are located would be the best thing to use. But the bats that I got of that insulation were 16 inches by 48 inches, 4 inches thick. So I doubled that, made each one of these panels 32 inches by 48. And then I just made a double one of each one of those and set them on a vault. Really what I wanted to do in this room was create an environment where the drums weren't hitting any square 90-degree angles. So the drums are in a pocket. You've got the vaulted acoustic clouds above them. You have a big 3-panel cloud back here. And then some just high-density foam bass catches in the corners, and then some gobos that I built out again with the same Rockwool that I can kind of create the environment that I need. And it does an excellent job of actually keeping things dead, but it still has some life in this room. Another consideration with the windows was I built a panel for each one of the windows, and then in addition to that, I hung curtains. I have sound deadening curtains. And then I also took some heavy duty sound deadening moving blankets and I grommeted those to go behind the curtain. So I really am able to control how much sound's coming through that window when I'm tracking, but also how much sound is getting out of that window when I'm tracking as well, what works out great. Another hack that I ran into when you're tracking, if you are tracking drums in a room that's over a basement and you need some separation, or if your house is built on a floor system and not on a slab, meaning that it's hollow underneath it. Something you should consider, what I did was just took some foam workout mats that you'll see in lots of people's home gyms that interlock together. And I had those underneath the rug that's down here, and it just separates the drum kit from the floor. It doesn't impact the stability of the kit when you're tracking. It makes everything really just tight and exactly how you would want it when you're tracking drums. So that is a hack that I think everybody should take advantage of. If you guys would like to see me do a video on how I built out these panels, as you can see, I did wrap them in some 1x4 and then took a torch to them and just torched them to give them that cool look. I would be happy to do that. I know there's some folks that have asked for those videos in the past. As far as the fabric, now you can spend a lot of money with companies like Guilford and Maine on acoustic fabrics. I didn't have that money to spend. I built this on a very tight budget and had to just get things as I could afford them and find things that would work for my needs. So what I did was got a few samples from Joann Fabrics of some fabric that I like that look good. I'm into the mid-century modern kind of vibe furniture scheme. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to design. So I found some fabrics that I thought looked good and would be breathable so that the insulation could do its job, and worked out fantastic. They just do such a good job in here. And yeah, so that's really how the room's kind of treated. It's a killer room and I am grateful to have it. All right, let's take a look at the drums. So as I said, I'm running 10 inputs on the drums. They're coming out of this Proco Snake. Nothing super fancy about this Snake. It's running to a patch bay, to an XLR patch bay that I have that is then routing to all my Warm Audio WA-273 pre's, and that's what all these drum mics are running into. We'll start with the kick. Kick out, I'm running a Peluso P87. If you're not familiar with Peluso mics, check them out. For the money, you're gonna be hard pressed to find another microphone this is obviously a clone of a Neumann U87. And this mic just sounds absolutely amazing on anything that you put it on. Vocals, guitar, drums, room mics, you name it, you're gonna have success with it. Kick in, I'm using a Shure Beta 52A, and I'm really impressed with what I'm getting out of that. So the whole concept with this is, for those of you who may be new to miking drums, I'm really trying to get the beater smack with the kick in, and then the body of that kick drum with the kick out large diaphragm condenser. For my snare, I'm just going old school SM57 top and bottom. And the truth be told, if you're on a tight budget and you're really looking to, maybe you have an 8-channel interface and you're looking to explore tracking drums, but you don't have a ton of money to spend on microphones, find some used SM57s and start there, because you can mic a whole kit with SM57s and get good keeper takes. Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of kind of post things working with EQs, but you're probably gonna have to do a good bit of that anyway. So can't recommend those enough. For my overheads, I am using Neumann KM184s. I've used a bunch of different mics. I really like those Neumanns. They are quite an investment. But they are an investment. So if you're looking to do this long-term, you are probably at some point gonna wanna start investing and saving up, putting your money in some more expensive microphones, and those are gonna serve you well. They sound great, and they're amazing on acoustic guitars or any kind of acoustic instrument as well. It's such a versatile set of microphones to have in here. For my toms, you know, I initially wanted to use Sennheiser MD421s on the toms, but just with the just how big of a pain in the butt it can be for their clamps and their mounting hardware to work. A friend of mine, Tom Tapley, big shout out Tom Tapley, West End Sound in Atlanta. Tom is an amazing engineer. He has been involved in a lot of incredible records over his career. He worked with Brendan O'Brien for a very, very long time. And he hit me to the Sennheiser E604 tom mics that had the claw on them. They are easy to mount. They sound amazing. They sound very, very close to MD421, in my opinion. Not a tremendously noticeable difference. And I just love the way they sound on toms. They're very affordable. I'll link all these mics in the description if you want to check them out. And then we've just got a couple other mics here. So I've got actually in the crotch mic, which we kind of use this as a room mic, is an Md421. And I found a new mic clamp for it. A guy off of Etsy is 3D printing these ones. It's something I wish Sennheiser would take note of and come up with their own design on, because that really takes a lot of the aggravation out of using a 421. But so have that as a room mic, crotch mic, and that mic is one of the most important mics in my drum setup, because it is just the crisp. If you want to bring that kit up and get some crispness out of it, you get the whack of the snare, you get the body of the toms, you get the sizzle of the cymbals, you get a little bit of everything in a perfect way. And then the last mic that I have right now, it's hidden behind this gobo to the right of me, is an Aston Origin large diaphragm condenser mic. I've used some different mics for room mics, and we're just experimenting with that mic sitting behind that gobo right now, and getting some really cool sounds. But that's how I have my drums set up. This is a PDP maple kit, so not a wildly expensive drum kit. I bought this kit used off of a dude on Facebook Marketplace. I think I got 600 bucks in it, and I replaced all the heads on it, got some good heads on it. We keep it tuned up great. It's maple. It is an awesome rock kit and totally gets the job done here. It's nice to have a kit that's a house kit that's always set up. The drum mics, we have them set up to where they are sounding best. This is the sweet spot for this room, for what we have found so far. And I encourage you, if you can, find a drum kit. It doesn't have to be a super fancy Gretsch kit or, vintage Rogers or Ludwig or DW kit. Yeah, those kits sound amazing. But if a drum kit is tuned well, if it has good heads on it and it's played well, you can get by with a kit like this that's not gonna break your bank. You can see that I'm using my P16 monitoring system where everybody can build their own mixes out, which comes in super handy, especially when I'm running a session and also engineering a session. I don't have to stop what I'm doing and the flow of us getting things recorded to be able to get people what they need in their ear mixes. And that is a huge advantage to me, and something that seems like a luxury in a home studio setup. But if you are really trying to make keeper recordings that you're going to release and you intend to do it over and over again, I highly recommend considering the evolution of your space and spending your money wisely. All right, so that is going to be our video for today. These are the drums that we've got going on here, and things are they're getting exciting here at Homewood Sound. I hope you guys are doing well. If you aren't subscribed to this channel and you made it this far in the video, I'd like to invite you to hit that subscribe button now and turn on your notifications so that you get notified when the videos come out. If you have any questions or any kind of feedback on this video at all, drop me a comment. I'd love to know more about what you guys have going on in your own spaces and kind of what drew you to my channel. And yeah, get to know what you guys are about, what you're working on, and share your own stories. Until next time, I'm Justin Brogdon. You guys keep being good to each other, keep doubling down, and we will be seeing you very soon. Peace.